Well, first of all, kind of, just tell me about your group this year. I know you guys had a lot of depth last year. Did you graduate a lot of that depth?
We did. We graduated a lot of senior linemen. We have some depth and experience coming back in the skilled positions, with the receivers, defensive backs, linebackers. We have a lot of depth. We have a lot of returning depth. But in the trenches up front, we really only have one returning starter, both offensively and defensively in the line. So that's been a point of emphasis for us. That's our rebuild, and we all know how important that is to success, winning the line of scrimmage. And so we've got some young kids, really talented kids that are working really hard, but we just don't have a lot of experience up front, and it'll be a work in progress.
When you have to fill that depth and plug those holes, how do you go about that, as the season goes on? And you want to do it as quickly as possible, right?
Well, I mean, luckily, last year they did get some experience last year because we did have a rash of injuries mid-season, and so some of our young kids did get some varsity time. But it's open competition, which I think is good. It really makes kids really focus and work hard, and and we want to play multiple kids, particularly on the defensive side. With the 4D linemen, if we can play 8 or 10 kids during the course of a game, and so that's kind of the things we've been talking and dangling that carrot out in front of those guys, saying, hey, this is not something where we only have 4 starters. We're going to rotate guys, but you have to make sure that we can trust you. You win that by your performance in practice, and that's something we've been really stressing and striving to is can we trust you to put you out there on a Friday night, or honestly, are you still a junior varsity kid and we need more development? And some of our sophomores and juniors are going to have to come up and be varsity kids for us this year.
You talked about it a little bit off camera, but how's the competition been this summer? It seems like you have a lot of participation again.
Really good, really good. Our numbers are good. We're about 90 kids. I like the effort, enthusiasm, the leadership. It's been really good. My senior class, I've only got 13 seniors, so that's a small class for us. But I like what they're doing as far as leadership. Again, the practices have been really spirited. We're getting a lot of good work done this summer.
When you talk about a kid like Drew Miller, obviously he did so much in his time here. Tell me about that quarterback position and what you're seeing right now.
Well, our backup quarterback was Sam Wyrick last year. Sam's a very accomplished baseball player, and he's a great athlete. And we're going to turn the reins over the offense over to him. We have the utmost confidence in him. He'll be a senior, but he's been around the offense since he's been a freshman. He understands it, and his athleticism, a lot of the traits that he has as a great baseball player, I think will transfer to being a very great quarterback for us. He's fast, he's shifty, he's instinctive. He can fit the ball into tight windows. So, not that the offense will change dramatically, but he'll be able to do some things offensively that I think will really help our offense.
You guys seem to year after year, have a strong quarterback, and even if they're new, they come in and they take over pretty well. What is the secret to that for you guys? Is it just bringing them up in the system?
We just bring them up in the system. We try really hard to teach our system all the way down to 5th grade, which is important. Our quarterback coach, our offensive coordinator, Zach Rockers, who played quarterback for me back in 2010, he truly understands the position and what we're trying to accomplish. And as far as the development of quarterbacks, we have to give all the credit to Zach and what he does, not just as our offensive coordinator, but grooming the quarterbacks and making sure that our freshman quarterbacks, our JV quarterbacks, are ready when it's their time. And he does an outstanding job with that.
Finally, how tough is this conference? I feel like year after year it just gets tougher and tougher competition.
Yeah, I mean it is a tough conference. It's a great conference. I'm sure glad that we're in it. Being an independent for all those years was really difficult, and we love the challenge. We love the challenge of being the smallest school in the conference, against all the larger public schools that are twice, sometimes 3 times our size. But we feel we can compete well within the conference, and I just love the proximity of all the games. You don't have to travel very far. It's nice to have everything, either Jeff City, Columbia, and one game in Sedalia. But I think it's going to be a very competitive conference season.